There's been a lot of talk lately, really this year. There's been a ton of talk about 15-minute cities. And now it's not news to us. We've known about it for a long time, and we've talked about it over the years here and elsewhere. So it's not like it's breaking news or anything, but you can feel the push ramping up a little bit more. You can feel this. I talked to Richie Allen about this. It must have been about a year ago. He said that somebody had approached him several years ago, like a decade ago, and said that they were sitting in city council meetings in which they were proposing that they have these barriers that came out of the road. They were, when not deployed, were flush with the road and you could just drive over them. But when deployed, they elevated out of the road like barriers. And that this guy told Richie that they're planning to install these on some streets to basically just make the streets like inaccessible so that from time to time they can just turn off the streets. And of course, Richie's got a deep understanding of this. So he knew this guy wasn't out of his mind. He just didn't think it was going to happen quite so soon. And then it was like, then there were pictures of it. Then years later, now it's out. And so Richie was like, holy shit, like he had that real world epiphany when he saw it for his own eyes, with his own eyes. And so this is where we're headed unless we do something about it. I mean, there's that, right? There's us, the people. We can decide that this isn't going to happen. But the first thing you need to do before you decide that this isn't going to happen is recognize that it's a possibility of it happening in the first place. And these groups have been around for a while. So again, I want to talk about 15-minute cities, but we'll do that in the back half. The first part, I want to talk about the lead up to 15-minute cities, because this is a concept that's been going on for a while. And the idea of restricting travel and movement is something that authoritarians fantasize about, of course, but they never really have the justification, except obviously during wars and things like that, where they can kind of dictate the flow of traffic, the movement of humans and things like that, or in natural disasters, environmental type, a hurricane, a flood comes through. But they don't really have the justification to monkey with your traffic flows or to cut you off of going down roads unless there's an actual emergency. So what do? They create emergencies, right? So they've decided that the best justification, of course, not a real one, but the best one that they're going to use is climate. It's carbon dioxide, I guess, doesn't go around barriers like this. I don't know. But they're going to use the threat of climate change for everything, really. But this is one of the things. And so what happened was that the Rockefeller Foundation got involved, as they often do, and they're sitting on about $4 billion in assets in this Rockefeller Foundation fund. And in 2013, they started something called the 100 Resilient Cities program. This is with the aim to help 100 cities globally develop a resilient strategy to tackle issues of globalization, urbanization, and climate change. It's so rich that the Rockefeller Foundation is interested in tackling the issues of globalization when they're the ones that were pushing for it. Oh, we've created this problem of globalization. We've got to come in and parachute into the rescue and help to develop a resilient strategy to tackle issues of globalization. You fuckers are the ones that started globalization when you opened up China. What are you talking about? Pathological liars in the Rockefeller Foundation are very concerned with urbanization and also climate change. What a surprise, climate change, right? So they identified that there were three major challenges. There were physical challenges, social challenges, and economic challenges. And so what they did was they put together what they called a roadmap to resilience with 4 main pathways. So are you ready for some horse shit? Because here it comes. Financial and logistical guidance for establishing an innovative new position in city government. a chief resilience officer who will lead the city's resilience efforts. Okay. So let me explain how this worked in their minds. We've identified 100 cities around the world, Rockefellers have, and they say we're going to make these resilient cities. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to install somebody into your government, into the government of these 100 cities. We'll pay for it. Rockefeller Foundation will pay for it. City doesn't have to pay for it. We will finance and pay for and take care of all the expenses associated with this new chief resilience officer, but you just need to put him in power. Okay. And then this is the person that will lead the city's resilience efforts. Okay. That's the thinking. Take these 100 cities, let us install our guy, and we'll save you. Okay. Thanks for watching that clip. If you want to hear the entire episode in audio format, just go wherever podcasts are served, search for Macroaggressions, subscribe to the show, and please rate it when you get a chance. Thanks, everybody.